Hi, my name is Chris Brennan, and this is a brief little introduction to and sort of overview of how to use the astrology app known as Astro Gold, which is available for both iPads as well as Android devices. So this is a little mobile app. It's made by the creators of SolarFire, which is one of the more popular or one of the most popular astrology software programs out there. And Astro Gold is like a smaller, more limited version of SolarFire where it has a lot of the basic functionality of SolarFire, but it's not got as many bells and whistles and things, and it's mainly just designed for mobile devices. So this is one of my favorite astrology applications. I make sure I have it on every mobile device that I have. Usually I use it on my Android phone, although recently I've begun using it on an iPad, and that's what I'm going to show you how to use it on today. So here I have it in the App Store. You can pull it up in the Apple App Store, or you can pull it up in Google Play if you're on an Android device. So you download the device, the app. It installs relatively easily. You open it up, and this is the basic sort of presentation of how it presents charts. So it presents charts very similarly to how you'll see them in SolarFire in terms of being able to calculate the positions of all of the planets. It uses the Swiss ephemeris, so it uses the most highly advanced sort of set of planetary tables available in terms of just determining where the planets are or will be at any date in the future, the present, or the past. It also, because it's made by the creators of SolarFire, it's able to use the advanced ACS Atlas, which is one of the best atlases in terms of looking at birth times and time zone conversions, especially ones during the course of the 20th century, where sometimes in different cities, it really made a difference whether or not the city was observing daylight savings time or not during that part of the year. So in terms of using the app, one of the basic things that you're going to want to do as soon as you open it up is hit charts in the top left, and you're going to want to calculate a chart. And it gives you an option of casting a chart for the current transits for here and now, for creating a new chart, or pulling up a chart from their files where they have some built-in charts that you can pull up of like celebrities and things like that. So for our purposes, let's say we're going to create a new chart. We'll give it a name. Let's just call it transits. We'll set it for today, July 26, 2018. Set it for the time, which is, it's actually 4:27 right now, p.m. Here in Denver, Colorado. Enter the place and the either the state or the country, and then it'll look up your location automatically, and usually it's pretty good. Hit OK, and then it will pull up the chart. So this is the basic chart, and in and of itself, it's just useful to be able to calculate a chart accurately, whether it's a birth chart or a transit chart. But really the main area where this program shines is in the ability to animate the chart and to move it forward or backwards in different increments. So you can find that in the top part of the display, where you see you can select different intervals, either minutes, hours, days, months, or years. And once you select the interval, you can then press forward or backwards up at the top there, and it'll move you forward based on that increment. So this is most commonly used for the daily increment in order to look at different transits and, let's say, move the chart forward a few weeks to, let's say, sometime in August. So we want to look at, let's say, mid-August, where the planets will be on August 15th. And this shows us that the moon will be in Libra, Venus will be in Libra, Mercury is still retrograde, but just getting ready to station direct. The sun eventually will move into Virgo, and so on and so forth. So you can advance the chart forward or backwards by daily increments. You can also move it forward and backwards by hours and minutes if you're trying to do rectification or electional astrology or other things like that. It can be very useful in terms of just adjusting the chart and seeing where the planets will be at different points in time, whatever increments you want to look at. Let's see, other things that you want to know about. In the settings, one of the things you're going to do as soon as you get the program is open up the settings in the top right. And there's different settings for just options. So some of these are just sort of aesthetic choices, like if you want to choose the color of the glyphs. So I think the default color is this one they call traditional, which is kind of colorful and it looks all right, but I usually like to make my glyphs all black. You can also change other things like the sign colors, the styles. You can do a dark background if you'd like, if you're looking at charts at night or something like that, and other things like that. You can also turn off and on the aspect lines, and you can turn off and on the aspect grids in the middle. I usually like to leave them on for the most part. So that's wheel options. If you go to settings and then go to wheel display. But there's actually a bunch of other options in the settings as well. One of them is if you click home in Atlas, it will ask you to set your default location. So I have that set to Denver, Colorado, and that way it automatically, when I tell it to cast a new chart, it will automatically, or to look up the transits for that day, it'll automatically set it for Denver, which is my usual location. So that's one of the things that you're going to want to set right away as soon as you install the program. Other settings that you can pick are displayed chart points, if you want to choose which bodies you want to be displayed in each chart that you cast. So I have the 7 traditional planets plus the outer planets. I have Chiron turned on right now, but that was actually an accident, so I'm going to turn that off. But for those of you that want to use the asteroids, you can turn Chiron, Vesta, Pallas, Juno, and all 200,000 of the other asteroids on at any time that you want. You can toggle those on or off. You can also turn on and off things like the North Node, the South Node, the Ascendant, the Midheaven. They've even got the Part of Fortune and some other points like Uranian hypothetical planets and stuff like that. Other settings are aspects, so you can tell it what aspects you want it to display. So if you pick the aspect, then you go to edit, you can actually tell it which aspects you want drawn in the chart. So right now I have it so it's just set to use the conjunction, opposition, trine, square, and sextile, but you can also turn on and off things like the semi-sextile or the inconjunct, and so on and so forth. You can also define what the applying and separating sort of orbs are for that aspect in terms of displaying it or not displaying it, which is super useful. And many other things like that. Another major setting that you're going to want to set is it gives you the option to set the form of house division that you want to use. So here I have it set to use whole sign houses. However, you can actually set it to use whatever house system you want. So if you go to settings and then chart calculation, under house system you can select just about anything. So there's Alcabitius, there's Placidus, Porphyry, I think just about any major system of house division you want to use, Regiomontanus, equal houses, and so on and so forth. So as most people know, I use whole sign houses, so I'm going to switch it back to that. It also has other options, like if you want to flip the calculation for the lot of fortune by day and night charts, which usually I would recommend, and I think that's the default. Other things like essential dignities, what type of triplicity rulers you want to use, what type of bounds you want to use, and other sort of esoteric things like that for traditional astrologers. Yeah, you can also pull up a grid layout, which is kind of handy sometimes if you want to see what the aspects are between the planets at a glance, and if you also want to see what their orbs are and whether they're applying or separating. Let's see. One of the things that's cool is you can actually export charts from SolarFire if you have the desktop program and import them into Astro Gold or vice versa, which is kind of handy. I'm trying to think of what else. I think those are the main things. in terms of the program. Really, its main functionality is just that it can accurately calculate birth charts or any other type of chart that you would want, electional or horary or other things, very accurately. It has a lot of options, and its most the killer feature for this app is just the ability to animate the chart and move the chart forward or backward at any point in time, which is very useful for doing things like rectification, for looking at transits, or just about anything else you want to do. Just the ability to move the chart forward at different rates. So that's kind of fun and cool, and it's especially nice when you're using a handheld or a mobile device with a touch screen, just because they did a very good job of setting up the layout for mobile devices and just being able to tap the forward or backward button in order to move the chart forward or backward. And it's kind of a cool thing to do for if you have a larger tablet. You can use this to display the chart in consultations, which is kind of fun, which is kind of what I have going on here. And that's a way to, not have to print out a piece of paper or whatever every time you do a consultation with a client, but instead to have this live version of the chart in front of them. And you can also use it to run transits and progressions and solar arcs and other timing techniques and things like that. So again, while it's not the full-fledged program of SolarFire with all of the bells and whistles that come along with that, it's got most of the basic functionality of SolarFire all built into a nice little sort of approachable program for mobile devices. So I think that's pretty much it for my overview of Astro Gold. So you can, again, find the app just by doing a search in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, the iTunes or App Store, whatever it's called for iOS devices, for just Astro Gold. And I think it costs like $20 or $25, which I don't know if that's kind of high for an app, but for an astrology program, it's nothing. And in terms of the use that you'll get from the program, it's actually very cheap. Especially since, like I said, it has most of the basic functionality of something like SolarFire, which goes for a few $100s. So having an app like this that's just $20 or what have you is a pretty good deal. All right, well, I'll put more information. I'll put links to the program in the description for this video below. So if you like the app, let me know what you think of it. If you have any questions, post those in the comments section below as well, and I'll try to get back to you. And otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.